At 7:30 p.m. Moscow time on the 21st of September 2025, a lavish gathering unfolds inside Putin's opulent Crimean guesthouse, filled with Russia's elite. Within just 43 seconds, Ukraine is about to turn their illusions of victory into ashes on the table. Far away, a 16-foot phantom skims through the dark waters of the Black Sea. This is the Mura V5, Ukraine's stealthy drone boat. Its fiberglass hull slices through the waves like a shark, nearly invisible to radar. Hidden inside are 6 OSA FPV drones, each only 13 inches long yet armed like miniature guided missiles. Everyone carries a 1.5-pound shaped charge, engineered to concentrate its blast into a molten jet capable of piercing concrete and steel as if they were paper. The Magura now closes on its target, the Foros Sanatorium, a private paradise where Russia's warlords unwind. Nestled among state-owned resorts where the FSB crafts new operations, this strike is more than humiliation. It's about tearing out the eyes of their war machine and protecting Ukraine's critical grain corridor. At 1931 local time, 3 miles offshore, Mura slows to a crawl. Its bay doors slide open, releasing 6 silent figures into the dark sea. The mothership locks a 10-second laser guide, then melts back into shadow. Its mission now rests with its children, 6 OSA drones racing at 60 miles per hour, skimming the waves close enough to taste the salt spray. They don't fly in straight, foolish lines, but perform a maneuver born of desperation and brilliance, a tactic devised by Ukraine's military intelligence called the Ghost Chain. The lead drone ejects a sparkling cloud of metallic dust, 500 strips of aluminum chaff. To Russian radar, it appears as a raging blizzard of phantom targets, the perfect illusion. The other 5 drones slip in behind this electronic curtain, hugging the base of the Foros cliffs inside the radar's blind spot. To dodge a Russian patrol boat ahead, they rise for exactly 2.7 seconds, exposing themselves just 12 feet, then vanish again into darkness. At 1932, nature strikes back. A brutal 20-knot gust slams into the swarm, hammering drone #3, the one with the corroded antenna. What was once a 2.3-degree targeting error becomes a flight control nightmare. The tiny craft bucks wildly, its AI fighting to regain balance. Hundreds of miles away, deep beneath Odessa, an operator watches his flickering screen. Sweat drips from his hands as he fights the controls, trying to steady a 13-inch craft battered by wind and blind behind a wall of chaff. The mission's fate now rests entirely on his fingertips. On the cliffs, a Russian Spetsnaz guard scans with a $10,000 thermoscope, hunting for a flicker of heat, a ghost in the dark. It's a dull patrol until, at 1927, his scope flares. A hot signature racing fast. He raises a specialized drone gun that fires a beam of focused electromagnetic energy. Far offshore, the decoy drone circuits fry and it bursts into sparks before plunging into the sea, a confirmed kill. As the soldier radios his triumph, he never realizes that the true Swarm 5 unseen assassin slips silently past below the cliff line. He's just defeated a ghost. His transmission, however, awakens bigger monsters. 30 seconds later, radar screens at a Panzer S-1 battery near Yalta explode with light. The operators don't see 5 drones, they see what the chaff was built to create. One massive signature racing 60 miles per hour. The system computer screams a single word: enemy. A $20 million air defense system locks onto that aluminum storm. A multi-million-dollar surface-to-air missile ignites, roaring to Mach 3 within seconds. In Odessa's bunker, the Ukrainian operator watches the launch path and smirks, whispering, "Go ahead, waste your money." The missile strikes the metallic cloud with devastating force, vaporizing the aluminum in a flash. The Russians cheer, believing they've scored a kill. In reality, they've hit nothing but air. While their eyes fix on the Phantom, the Mura V5, now 10 miles offshore, plays its final card. It broadcasts a false signal that mimics a large vessel, drawing Russian patrol boats farther from shore and clearing the final path for the swarm. The trap is set to perfection. At 19:28, air raid sirens scream across Sevastopol. From a nearby airfield, an Su-30 fighter jet roars upward, its afterburners ripping the night apart. This Mach 1.9 monster worth $50 million is built for one thing: to destroy anything that flies. But how can a handful of plywood drones survive? By refusing to play its game. The swarm obeys its next command and splits apart. 2 drones drop even lower, disappearing inside the sea's surface clutter, while the remaining 3 climbed to 200 feet. Suddenly, the Russian pilot faces a puzzle of impossible geometry, multiple targets at different altitudes, all speeding toward a no-fire zone dangerously close to civilian villas. Unable to strike them all, the Russians unleash their digital hammer, an electronic warfare storm 5 miles wide, flooding the air with radio energy strong enough to blind any machine. In Odessa, operators watch their control screens drown in static. For a moment, the drones are alone, but the OSA's AI ignores the chaos. Like a teenager with noise-canceling headphones, the system shuts out the noise. It no longer needs GPS. Its internal gyroscopes feel every turn, dip, and acceleration, navigating by instinct with 98% accuracy. You can jam the airwaves, but not the laws of physics. Yet the fight isn't only above. On the cliffs, Spetsnaz teams lie in wait, launching kinetic nets and firing thermal-guided machine guns. Streams of tracers streak through the dark. One OSA vanishes in a burst of fire, a brief firework against the rocks. 1 down, 4 remain. In Odessa, the operator wipes the sweat from his brow. His display flashes the night's most critical number, 20 seconds to target. He grips the controls tightly, whispering, "Hold steady. Just hold steady. Russia may have its cheetah, but Ukraine has its fox, and in this deadly game of hide-and-seek, the fox holds the edge." The Russian defenses spiral into frenzy, wasting millions in blind fire. At 1929, one OSA alters its digital fingerprint, posing as a civilian passenger jet. Its transponder screams an IFF code, and its trajectory now appears headed straight for a nearby school. It's a bluff, an audacious act of electronic genius. The bluff traps Russian commanders in an impossible dilemma: fire and risk a global scandal by downing a passenger plane over a school, or hold their fire. That single heartbeat of hesitation is all Ukraine needs. On Sevastopol's radar, confusion turns instantly into panic. Conflicting orders echo through the network. From billion-dollar S-400 systems to the Spetsnaz soldier clutching his rifle, everyone freezes for a few fatal seconds. All eyes lock on the Phantom airliner, forgetting the real killers. Meanwhile, the 4 true attack drones slip unseen through the radar shadow of the cliffs. Far offshore, 20 meters from the coast and hidden behind a grain freighter, the Magura V-5 performs its final act. It fires a tight laser pulse, a whisper of data that leaps across the waves. The signal reaches the damaged drone #3, instantly correcting its 3.6-degree targeting error. The ghost in the machine has spoken. In Odessa's bunker, 4 green boxes lock onto the thermal signature of the Foros main hall. The operator leans toward his mic, voice calm and cold. The trap is sprung. Time to strike. At exactly 19:30, the bluff ends, and fury begins. Realizing the trick, Russian commanders erupt in rage as the Pantsir battery comes alive. Its twin 30mm cannons spit 4,000 rounds per minute, throwing a wall of fire into the night. The sky erupts under a storm of explosive shells, each designed to shred an aircraft. It's a desperate final stand. Yet the 4 OSA drones don't evade, they converge, plunging through the blaze together, aligned on a single target, the sanatorium's main hall. The lead drone, the one corrected minutes ago, locks onto the heat signature of the crowded banquet hall. Perfect, unshakable aim. In Odessa, the operator's voice turns to ice. Fox 3, release the payload. The command passes down the chain. The drones are not the weapons, only the couriers. 4 1.5-pound shaped charges detach from their mounts, fins snapping open as they dive toward the target at over 200 miles per hour. Their mission complete. The drone carriers bank sharply, turning back toward the sea, toward the waiting Mura V-5 hiding among the shipping lanes. The operator in the bunker doesn't wait for impact. He slaps the console, shouting triumphantly, "Delivery complete! Time to clear out!" Inside the dacha, celebration turns to horror. The distant thunder of Pantsir cannons becomes a deafening roar, shaking the walls. A Spetsnaz commander screams into his radio, "Swarm fire at will, hit everything." A high-ranking VIP drops his caviar glass, shattering it on marble. "How is this possible?" he yells. "We jammed everything." But the OSA warheads don't care about jamming. They carry no electronics, only pure kinetic fury ruled by physics. The instant of impact is a violent masterpiece. The first warhead smashes through the glass roof. It doesn't just shatter, it vaporizes. The 4-inch armored glass is struck with 700 foot-pounds of force, equal to a pickup truck collision at full speed. The 1.5-pound charge detonates, but the explosion doesn't spread, it focuses. In a microsecond, the copper lining melts into a jet of molten metal burning at 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, slicing through the marble floor like butter. A finger of man-made lightning pierces the banquet hall's heart, and the chain reaction begins. The initial blast sends debris crashing into the main kitchen, severing gas lines. A secondary explosion ignites, hurling a fireball that rips the western wall into the Black Sea. Another warhead hits the VIP garage, turning a $750,000 armored Mercedes into a 100-foot tower of flame. The last warhead strikes the event hall dead center. The secret meeting table in the war plans on it turned to ash. The electromagnetic pulse from the detonations fries the nearby radar systems, leaving a stretch of the Crimean coast completely blind. As dawn rises over the Black Sea, the scale of destruction is revealed. The $50 million sanatorium is now a smoldering ruin, a jagged scar across the scenic coastline. Russia's secret war plans lie in chaos, and its Black Sea fleet retreats. Ukraine's grain corridor widens by 20%. A slow satellite zoom shows the Odessa operator watching in silence. He studies the satellite feed, a faint, determined smile crossing his face. The oldest lesson still holds true. The biggest wolf can fall to the smallest arrow if the aim is true. Born from the brutality of war, Ukraine's ghost chain has turned the sea itself into a weapon. The Russian Empire is just a sandcastle waiting for the tide.